Hello, West Ham Network. I hope you're well. It is Holly, and I am here with my predicted starting 11 for the upcoming game. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up so we know that you have liked it. Today, West Ham face Lincoln City in the third round of the EFL Cup or Carabao Cup, kicking off at 7:45 p.m, meaning we have just under 3 hours to go until the excitement or the stress really begins. I'm really looking forward to this game personally. We've had a good start to the season, followed by two difficult fixtures against City and Liverpool, where we played reasonably well, but we have failed to come away with anything. And now we enter the Carabao Cup in the third round because, of course, we are in Europe. To run through Lincoln's form in the Cup so far, they started by beating a 10-man Notts City 2-0 with just 30% possession, then drew 0-0 with Sheffield United, but went through on penalties, having just 28% possession in that game. Interestingly, seeing as they seem to have very little possession, this means that we are likely to hold some more of the ball in this game, something which we have not found particularly easy to adjust to, as we all know. So this will be a good test, and hopefully it's going to give us a little bit of practice with the ball ahead of the likes of Sheffield United, Newcastle, Villa, Everton and Brentford fixtures, which are all coming up for West Ham. Now, it's not been easy to put together a predicted starting 11, as some of it definitely depends on personal preference. And while I might want one player to start, we are likely to see Moyes potentially set up a little bit differently. So let's run through my predicted starting 11. Up first, Fabianski is now our second choice goalkeeper. So this one is a bit of a no-brainer. Solid choice of goalkeeper. It gives him some game time, which we know that he is very, very keen for. Up next, we have got Cresswell. Cresswell felt his hammy in training, and then he came off at half-time against Bakatopola with the injury apparently resurfacing. If he's too injured to play, I reckon that we may see Johnson on the left here, but I'm still hoping that Cresswell will be fit to play. Oggy, he did make a mistake for the goal that we conceded against Bakatopola. It was a painful one to watch, but he's generally a strong enough option for games like this. And I don't think that we need to base dropping him on solely that. Plus, this would mean that we can, of course, rest Zuma. So I would be having Oggy at centre-back. Then I would also place Dinos at centre-back, giving him more game time to settle into our squad. He's looked fantastic, hasn't he, from what we've seen so far, with Aged making quite a few mistakes lately. It's also going to be interesting to see how this one plays out long-term and whether Mavropanos could replace an out-of-form Aged. So he would be my other centre-back. And then Kera plays at right-back for me. He's got good pace and he needs some game time to be able to get ready to play in the place of Soufal in the league, should the opportunity arise. Up next, the midfield was actually the hardest to decide for me. I would sit Alvarez as the more defensive of the triangle, with Fornals and Paqueta alongside him. My reasoning for this is that we have got one solid defensive midfielder there, plus Paqueta's creativity and Fornals, who obviously deserves game time, and we know that he can play a great through ball. There are, of course, plenty of other options, including Souček and Ward-Prowse, who could be subbed on and off as needed. Then I have put Benrahma on the left wing and Kudus I have popped over on the right. I think this will allow us to get the ball into the box while giving Bowen a bit of a rest. Cornet is another that obviously could have played on the left, but I reckon, based on Moyes' reluctance to play him lately and him not getting many minutes at all, I think Cornet would be more likely to be a sub. Might be wrong. We'll find out. I'm actually really, really excited to see what Kudus can do when he has a little more time to settle into the squad. We've seen that obviously he is starting to get a little bit more creative and do a lot. He's also very one-footed, but I don't know if that's going to be a problem. I think against Lincoln City, it's the perfect opportunity for him to hopefully batter them, put in a really good performance and prove why he needs to be in our starting 11 as a no-brainer. So that will give him some more game time. And finally, last but not least, up top, I've put Mabama. I'm really keen for him to get a chance and show what he can do. It feels like he's so close. Like, he's performing incredibly in all the games he is playing in. He's getting call-ups. He's getting the opportunities. But we just need to see what he can do in this squad and prove it to Moyes so that he can actually, hopefully, be considered ahead of players like Ings. Now, it is a possibility that Moyes will start Ings ahead of him in this game. And in fact, I think that probably will happen. But I've put Mabama in here in the hope that we are going to see him start, because I think he deserves it. And obviously we can then bring on more proven or more experienced long-term strikers should we need to. But I want my Bama. I want my Bama on the pitch. Now, my plan would be to start with this side and then make substitutes as we need. If we can take an early lead, we can bring on more players like Skulls and Coventry, who I really want to see play as well. And if we're struggling, which we really shouldn't be with the lineup that I've chosen, we could, of course, bring in the likes of Bowen or Antonio. Now, there are a lot of variations that our starting 11 could take. As you can see from some of these posts, there's the opportunity for Coventry or Skulls to play, as well as Souček being in this lineup. We could see more rotation in the squad, like Ellie here has shown, on giving some of our Premier League starting 11 a little bit more of a rest. And of course, we have the question of who plays at centre-back, Aged or Dinos, as well as the decision to rest or play Paqueta. So there we have it. It's actually a difficult one to predict because these are the kinds of games where you do want to see squad rotation, and also we should be able to give players an opportunity to show what they can do and have a few of the big guns on the bench should we need to bring them on. So there we have it. That is my predicted starting 11 for West Ham versus Lincoln City. But of course, let me know your thoughts and make sure you leave a comment with the starting 11 that you expect to see this evening. Here's hoping we use this as a great opportunity for players to get a good run out and prove why they should make our Premier League starting 11. We actually have quite a few players now that are just on the verge of breaking through and are really, really wanting to do this at the moment, as well as players like Fornals who've already proven their point but just aren't quite getting chosen in that starting lineup. So a lot of players with a point to prove, and hopefully they can do exactly that tonight. Now, that is everything from me for now, but stay tuned for loads more matchday content as the day goes on. And until next time, come on you Irons.